clear description that you're right, Aisha. It's very unfortunate that we are staying on issues about boat disasters and, recent reports of maritime accidents here in Ghana. In a related development, you'll recall that a few months ago, something similar happened. In fact, weeks ago. Education of children at FAANAA, an island community in the South municipality, has come to a standstill 2 weeks after a canoe accident that killed 9 school children. Joseph Armstrong returned to the community and reports that none of the children who survived, as well as others from the island, reported to school 2 weeks after the incident.
Vision Redeemer Academy School is where most of the children from Faana attend school. 7 pupils from the school died in a canoe accident that occurred on May 10 this year. Almost all the classrooms are empty, as students have not reported to school since the incident. A teacher who stays on the island has also stopped coming to teach his class without any explanation.
Where I stand is a class made up of 3. We have class 1, class 4, and class 3. This teacher you see sitting on this side is responsible for taking care of all these 3 classes, because the other teachers that are responsible for that classes came from Faana. They've all stopped the school after the incident.
We later crossed the river to Faana in the South municipality. It is a taboo to bury dead bodies or give birth to a newborn baby in the community. Hence, none of the 9 that died were buried in the community. It is a fishing community without electricity, clinic, schools, or potable water or any other social amenities. We first met Achu, the 15-year-old boy who was paddling his mates back home before the incident. He has not returned to school. He was busy fetching sea sand. According to him, he has not returned to school because the incident is still fresh on his mind. He is still traumatized by the incident, which claimed the lives of his colleagues.
I have flashbacks anytime I go to bed, and that has become a nightmare to me.
We later visited Angela, another surviving victim. She was also not in school. Angela has not been well since the disaster. She is yet to come out of the shock. Her parents say she screams while sleeping every night. Even though governments through the assemblies have assured of providing them with psychologists, that is yet to materialize. Other children in the community also did not go to school for fear of losing their lives. We also met Augustine, a level 300 student of the University of Education, Winneba. He is back on vacation to support his parents in fishing to raise money for his fees. He fears if nothing is done to help the community, education will come to a halt.
Because of what's happened, nowadays when he said they should go to school, they will tell you they are afraid. Kids, they will tell you, I don't want to be like my friend who got drawn. If government doesn't do anything soon, then the education of these people will go down, seriously, and will all be illiterate and become fishermen and fishmongers in the town, and which will not help the country. I may say all hope is not lost. You can be here, you can come here and school if you are determined. Everything that you have to do in life is all about determination.
Bernard Stone, a resident, shares similar sentiments.
No basic amenities can be found over here. Nothing of that sort can be found over here.
Like what?
No hospital, no light, no pipe water, no school.
May 10, 12 school pupils boarded a canoe from Uyaboman after school. 9 of them did not make it. This was after their canoe capsized halfway through their journey. 7 of the pupils died on the spot, with another 2 dying at the hospital. The loss is enormous for the community. Aweche, a boat operator in the community, told the news team the tragic accident was their worst nightmare.
We can be na me bone shami fe ame chame pone ame bigbo. Yen kan se wo injun ame. Injun ame resin we can be ne kete.
I am in pain more than even their parents. It's rather unfortunate.
All right, so that's the unfortunate story of citizens and residents of Faana, where 9 school children lost their lives in an attempt to cross the river to get some education. Let's find out what exactly can come in terms of assistance, psychological assistance for these persons. Dr. Collins Beduajiman is a senior lecturer, Department of Psychology, and the national president of the president chair for Executive Committee, Ghana Psychological Association. Doc, good evening. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, Martin.
We know that there's supposed to be individual psychological assistance, but then is there a way that a grieving community and a group of people we have just seen can be given any kind of assistance, beyond just individual assistance?
Well, I think, Martin, we need to commend Media General for following up on this particular matter. More often than not, when disasters of such nature happen, we see the movement of relevant others in society, those who should have been responsible. They move there in drones in their numbers to go and commiserate with the community, and that will be it. A day after, a week after, and it's dead and gone. We are back to the vulture syndrome. And it is very sad looking at the first story that you just shared and then linking it to this particular one. And I think we need to act expeditiously to support this community. Disaster of such magnitude affects a number of people. Those who survived, then the schoolmates, those who lost their colleagues through the disaster, family members, the teachers, the parents, community members, rescue operators, those who may have come in, individuals from the community to rescue, even NADMO officials, fire service officials, and even you media personnel who go to the scene. You always see these charged, emotionally charged experiences, the sight of some of these things. All these members will need psychosocial support, and especially those who are very much ingrained in this particular activity must be supported. And if this is not done, there can be dire consequences. And I'm not surprised the experiences that some of the parents were sharing about their children, the anxiety and nervousness, the flashes of memory when they sleep, they become jittery and wake up all of a sudden. Some may also even resort to substance abuse, the parents and family members who may have lost their children. And all these ones, we need to support them to begin to adjust. And the painful aspect, the loss of purpose in life. Some of these children may not even develop the interest again to go back to school. And we cannot deny these young ones that opportunity of making it in their own life.
Doc, and that clearly underscores the need for psychological or psychosocial assistance like you indicated. But in such a situation, how do we roll it out? How can, if we have a state institution that's supposed to handle this, what is the approach supposed to be like?
Well, one would have expect that NADMO especially show the lead. But once again, let me put the question. To what extent is NADMO well capacitated to carry out such psychosocial interventions? So what is the capacity of NADMO? Beyond giving mattresses, beyond giving some subsidy by way of food, especially when some of these disasters happen, what next? What capacity do they have? And if you look at the regional level, one would have expected that indeed we have some kind of a rescue task force. We keep having these experiences. We need to have a standby task force that will support the work of NADMO. Okay. We will need social workers, we will need psychologists, we will need public health experts, we will even need urban developers and community planners so that together we'll be able to plan an intervention whenever there are these disasters.
Right.
I just don't want to remind people what has happened in times past, but we have to, as an association, out of our own will, negotiate with relevant stakeholders to support their Palm drowning disaster, Saboba drowning disaster. We went to Apiate and what have you. And so we are ready, given the circumstances of this community, to support all the relevant agencies, Ministry of Children and Child Protection, Accra Regional Minister,
Right.
the relevant municipality and what have you, so that we'll be able to support this particular community.
Dr. Collins Beduajiman, thank you so much for your time and thoughts as always, Senior Lecturer, University of Ghana.